Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Voices for the Ocean podcast, brought to you by the Ocean Rescue Alliance International. I'm your host, Steffi from Ocean Rescue Alliance, and today I am with Stephen Anderson, who works with Envirowell. How are you doing today, Stephen?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity.
We're really honored to have you as well in our podcast today. But first things first, if you could please quickly share about your company and what you do specifically within the company.
Sure. As you said, my name's Steven, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Envirowell. And so we're a company who's bringing a patented and new style of construction for shallow wells to the market. Um, and I can talk all day about it, but the highlights of the technology that we're hoping to bring into mass adoption is it's drought resilient. It is runs on very little power, so it's very easy for off grid situations and solar power, that kind of thing. And another critical one is for places with glacial till soil. So anywhere where the terrain was created, essentially torn up by glaciers in the last ice age, there's a lot of arsenic the deeper down you go. And our technology accesses water that isn't contaminated with dangerous levels of arsenic, so it's clean right out of the ground instead of having to be treated after the fact with chemicals. And requires no modifications to attach to a home or building or even municipality that previously ran on a more traditional style of well.
Oh,
And I
that's a
do
great
CEO stuff, so I run the day to day and the direction of the company, and I don't know,
that's a
a
great
lot of stuff. I wear a
mission.
lot of hats.
Yeah, that's a great mission actually. And I believe Envirowell envisions healthier communities through sustainable water and energy solutions. And how do you see
Yes.
your mission influencing not just environmental outcomes, but also the social and economic resilience of the communities you serve?
Oh, well, um, we really thought about that from the beginning with the company. And so our business model, to get kind of into how the sausage is made, we do a licensing model. So instead of our company coming in to be the one that actually does the installations, we license out to local installers. Um, and one of the big benefits of this in our mind is that it keeps money local. So, if a small municipality uses our technology to put a well in to supply, 500 person town, 1,000 person town, those contracts go to local companies and that money stays within the local economy. So it's bringing wealth to an area and allowing it to stay there instead of draining it away. Um, and then socially, a thing that we really hope is going to happen is because the construction technique for these, places, and we're hoping that this will not only have, potable water usage, but there's also, we're doing research with agricultural usage. And so when farmers go to, who have put this in the ground, and since it's a shallow well, that they're seeing, oh, well, I know how deep down my water's being pulled from, and maybe I'll use a little bit less, fewer pesticides, because there's a mental connection between where their drinking water is coming from and what they're actually doing to the land. So in very, you know, concentrated cases, people are thinking, because the reality of the world is it's difficult to make a lot of people think about their impact beyond themselves. But by bringing sort of their mindset to, oh, well, I don't want to contaminate, even though the technology, they wouldn't necessarily be contaminating their own water supply, but just the mental link between, oh, well, I saw that be built, I know where that is, and then making a conscious choice that, oh, well, I don't want that to get into my drinking water, even though that's not how the technology works, but that mental connection from seeing the construction, we're hoping will long term be able to create sort of modify people's behaviors so that they do make choices that are, even if they are selfish to them or they think they're being selfish to them, have a long-term net positive for larger communities, and sort of larger water access, um, much beyond them.
All right. So, thank you for that answer. And for my next question, many organizations talk about sustainability in broad terms, but Envirowell is implementing it in very real ways through infrastructure, technology, and education. What practical steps do you believe individuals, businesses, or even the local governments can take today to align with the kind of systematic change Envirowell is driving?
I mean, well, I guess I kind of touched on it on my last answer, but I think people being able to realize that, um, when something goes, in the ground, if it's their car leaking oil, if it's, they're dumping pesticides to make their grass green, anything like that, it doesn't stay in one spot. And so I'm from Maryland. The Chesapeake Bay is a big deal to a lot of the state. So we learn a whole lot about that growing up. And, you know, I don't necessarily think that people in, mid-state New York realize that what they put in the ground eventually ends up in the Chesapeake Bay. Um, and so having people honestly just be more educated on the watersheds that they live in, and, so that they understand what their individual impact, even if it might be small, but, um, you know, the ocean's made out of a million raindrops kind of thing. It's every little bit adds and adds, and just sort of education on where your actions have a net result. And, the I'll use Chesapeake Bay as an example again. There's, we get taught that, when John Smith sailed up into it, you could see straight to the bottom. You cannot see straight to the bottom of the Chesapeake Bay in most spots now today. So, and that's, partially from industry local, but also the fact that farming far up the watershed has also caused issues. And so just having, I think education is really the biggest thing. Um, and letting people know that, hey, this is who you're impacting long term, but also here's how it impacts you. Because I think it's important that, again, we just, the way society kind of works right now, people need to know how their impact will, how what their actions do rather impact them personally. And, even if it's on a longer time horizon, I think that's sort of the important thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully that was
thanks.
good.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen, for
Yeah,
elaborating your answer. Actually, you kind of touched base it in your previous answer to me, but I want you to dig deeper on how
yeah,
or what are the practical steps towards sustainability that
yeah,
other people can do for the environment. So,
yeah,
I just want to jump into the advocacy and collaboration part,
yeah.
since partnerships often determine how quickly we can create lasting change. And how is Envirowell building collaborations across sectors, whether with government, nonprofit, or private companies? And where do you see opportunities to work with ocean-focused organizations like ORAI to accelerate conservation and build a healthier planet?
Oh, certainly. I mean, partnerships are and the lifeblood of any company, and especially one with a social impact, mission like ours. And so we really find that, I mean, we're super lucky. We have a great partnership with the University of Maine. So they're doing research. Dr. Rachel Chapman has been a wonderful asset to us. They have a few of our wells and are doing research on the applications of our technology for agricultural use. We're also very blessed to have a strong partnership for on the business side with the University of Maryland, which is my alma mater. Um, and then we're also very lucky to have a good partnership and relationship with the U.S. Geological Survey, who was actually the original inventor of our technology. And so those relationships have been massively helpful in bringing, um, you know, getting us the data that we, need, and the understanding that, and answering questions that are, I am not qualified to answer because I don't have a PhD in, very specific, hydrological questions and things like that, even though I understand how the technology works. Um, there are certain things where it's very nice to be able to have somebody who, you know, can give an answer in a level of detail that, I could only dream of giving. And then working with, ORAI and other ocean aligned nonprofits and companies, since we're really looking towards applications of our technology that will minimize the amount of pollutants that enter waterways, and everything ends up in the ocean. So by hopefully stopping these pollutants at their point of origin, we're also looking at the possibility for using our technology to clean up some Superfund sites, uh, where there's massive pollutants that are slowly leaching into the environment. But we're hopeful that by being able to clean things up, uh, you know, sort of upriver, as it were, that we can, work with, organizations like ORAI to find out what needs tackling at the end, what's actually making it all the way through. And then that allows us to alter course and or expand our scope to find out things that we need to actually be looking at, since you guys have the data on what's slipping past already, essentially. And I think those kind of partnerships are wonderful and work fantastically.
That's absolutely amazing, Stephen, your insight of how we can partner up in the future. And thank you so much for sharing your company's mission and the groundbreaking work that you're doing to provide safer, cleaner, and more sustainable water solutions for our communities. But before we wrap up, I'd like to take a moment to share a quick introduction about our organization as well, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I'm excited to introduce to you Ocean Rescue Alliance International, an organization redefining how we restore and protect our oceans. ORAI blends science, art, and community engagement to create living shorelines, coral and mangrove restoration projects, and even stunning underwater art installations that double as thriving marine habitats. What makes RAI unique is how we work through collaboration. We believe rising tides raise all ships, and that the best way to scale restoration is by partnering with companies, organizations, and communities who share the same vision of a healthier planet. And for partners like Envirowell, this means more than supporting conservation. It's about co-creating projects that can connect clean water innovation with ocean restoration, strengthening coastlines, inspiring ecotourism, empowering underserved communities, and showcasing your company's commitment to sustainability in a way that's visible and lasting. And together, we can build reefs that tell stories, projects that protect shorelines, and programs that empower people to become ocean stewards as well. And so, if you're looking to expand your impact, inspire communities, and leave a legacy for future generation, RAI would love to partner with you and would be happy to follow up via email and set up a call to explore how partnership through our Join the Alliance campaign could bring our shared vision to life. And would that be something Envirowell would be interested in exploring together?
Oh yeah, of course. We'd love to, and we'd love to keep working with you guys.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you so much for the work that you do and for being another voice for the ocean. And I truly appreciate you joining our podcast and sharing your time and expertise with us. It really means a lot. It's an honor, actually.
Yeah.
And by sharing this
Thanks so
knowledge, we're building a stronger community for ocean conservation. And I'm looking forward to our future partnerships.
I am too. Thank you again so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stephen.
Thanks, Steffi.